I've started. I'm nervous.
You stop being nervous. You've done this like...
You should be the one who is nervous.
I know, but I just feel like maybe there's just so much happening. So I'm not feeling things. Okay. I'm just here.
Okay.
I'm just here. But you can't be nervous. You've done this a million times.
Exactly.
You got this.
Yes, girl. Okay, let's begin.
Ask about me on the streets of Ithaca. They will tell you I'm popular everywhere. I mean, I'm that new Nigerian girl who just came here and has friends in all sects and factions of this university. MBA, graduate student, undergraduate student, PhD student. Like, girl, I'm popular. But yeah, welcome to the Non-Immigrant Student Podcast. This is the podcast where if I can do it, you can do it too.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Non-Immigrant Student Podcast. Woo woo! I'm so excited to be back. I feel like it's been a hot minute. You know, the last episode I did was my friend Bisaya, and we talked about our friendship and a lot of other things anyway. And today I have with me another guest who has been here for who has been here twice already, and now this is her third time. The first episode we did was dropping out of her PhD degree, which was later turned around. Second episode had to do with dating, right? Love is blind and something.
We were just talking about a bunch of things there.
Dating, and now we're here at the end of the finish line of your PhD degree. We're back 3
now
years
I'm
after.
Nervous.
I told you.
And now I'm feeling nervous. Oh my gosh.
Anyway, if you're new here, we're going to introduce ourselves. Welcome back to the Non-Immigrant episode. Non-Immigrant Student Podcast, like I said. And if you're new here, my name is Tolulope Esther Olukami, fondly known as the Non-Immigrant Student on Instagram. And with me,
She has Dr.
Oh my gosh.
Girl.
Yes, girl.
Achoboro.
Abue. Woo!
You had to add that middle name.
Give it up.
Because my mommy was good for me.
If you can hear us, give us a round applause, a standing ovation. Yes.
Woo, let's go.
Give it up for the PhD graduate.
Let's go.
Wow, thank you so much, Pearl, for coming back. I owe you a t-shirt, like I was saying.
Yes.
Now I gave Busaya
You guys can hold that to it now that she has said it here.
Yes, I gave Busaya a t-shirt. I was like, you know what? Thank you for coming. For all the people that drag their friends to do stuff with them, and thank you for always saying yes, for wanting to do this. And actually, what inspired this part 2 of the episode was because recently someone said I found my podcast who just moved to the US. Oluchi, shout out to you.
Ooh, shout out
to you, Oluchi. And she sent me a message saying that she just listened to the episode I did with Pearl, and that she just started her PhD journey, blah blah blah. And I was like, you know what? Funny enough, Pearl is even graduating. The same person who we thought was going to drop out is graduating this year, and we're going to do a part 2, and that's why we're here. So, so to begin,
I can't believe it.
Yes, girl, you'll be graduating in 5 days. How do you feel?
I honestly don't know how I feel. Like, it just feels so unreal. I feel like that's the biggest feeling so far. Like, I can't believe it.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. Like, it seems like an out of body experience, kind of. Like, I can't explain how I feel because I don't know how I feel because I don't really feel anything.
That English was much though, but
you know, as a doctor.
Okay. I'm going to do that thing. Remember that thing when you graduate? Remember that video that we sent to our group chat? First day drinking water as a fiance. That video.
First time recording a podcast as a doctor.
Yes, girl.
A philosophy, guys. Philosophy. Although I will be saying yes, there's a doctor on the plane when they ask.
Who cracked that joke on our? Okay, yeah, I remember. It was on our Chem group chat. Someone said that when they finally ask a doctor on the plane, you can say yes.
Yeah, and I will. Silently to the person next to me.
Yeah, that's so nice. I mean, just for people who might not know us, I feel like people who already follow this podcast will be tired of us always saying how we met. But you know, the story has to be complete. So, how did we meet?
Oh my gosh.
Who might be listening to this for the first time? There is a part 1. Okay, let me give a disclaimer of how this started. There is a part 1 called dropping out of your PhD, and I'll go into it like in much later in the episode. But like, how did we meet?
I mean,
short form of the story.
Short form. I feel like now it can be shortened a lot.
Yeah.
We met in school.
Yeah. Shala Kamena University.
Shout out to see you. Yes. We met in school probably met in our first year, but like we became friends for real in our third year while we worked together. And And yeah, Tolu was just an amazing person. She sent me a message that kind of put her on my radar, and I was just like, oh, she's so sweet. And then she asked me to work with her.
Did I send you a message? I sent it to you back then.
Look, you sent me the first message you sent to me right when I had just lost someone. You sent me a message, and that was the thing that like really made me feel like oh, we weren't that close. So I'm really shocked.
But I was like, how can? Oh my god, someone lost their partner. Oh my god, in school.
Partner.
But you know, we're in America now, partner.
Yeah,
okay,
partner. Yeah.
Okay, whatever.
But yeah, she sent me a message, and like I was just like, oh, we weren't that close. I didn't even really know that she knew that I was seeing this person at the time.
I had just heard.
Yeah,
I should say sorry.
She sent me a message, and I just felt like, oh, she's really sweet. And then she happened to ask me to work with her to be her general secretary
for college week.
In our third year. That college week was banging. It was probably
banging.
The best one.
Honestly,
in my memory. I don't even think anyone after.
Honestly, it was the college-wide one. I think we worked on science and technology and engineering together.
Yeah, and then we now had the theme be synergy.
Yes, shout out to everyone we worked with.
MJ and synergy. That was a good name.
And DI and everyone.
Everyone. Yeah, that was a good committee. But yeah, so that was first time that was when like I feel like our friendship really started working together like that, and like seeing Tolu for the kind of person she is was my first to be like, I want to be this babe's friend, shall. And I mean, here we are. Here we
are. How many years? That was 2016. 8 years later.
8 years.
Girl, yes. And then in 400 level we became roommates.
Yeah, and then we were roommates, and then she taught me how to eat ewaji. And ewaji is still one of my favorite meals.
You said this in part 1.
Yes! Because this is a comment. She taught me how to eat ewaji. And it's so funny because when we recorded the part 1, right, and you were staying with Atlara, she brought ewaji for me.
I did?
Yes! And I was just like, this is somebody that knows. Oh my god, I'm really happy. But yeah. That year and we were together for a year. How long did we?
It seemed like I was just out fast when we went for we went on IT. Then 500 level we came back and I was like, Pearl, you are such an excellent general secretary. You put all our shit together on that team. Okay, someone has told me stop swearing on this podcast. You put all our stuff together. Like you got us so organized. You created book drive templates. I mean, this was even after I knew that. But I was like, I want to work with you again. And then I think I was selected to lead community development for CPC, our final year university planning committee for students. Yeah. I was like, Pearl, I'd like to work with you again. And then we worked again together. And
it was amazing.
Yes, another amazing. Yeah, best team.
That was also a very nice team. We worked together really well. Well,
exactly.
Yeah.
And then we came. And you always, sometimes you have feedback from me, but you look for a way to tell me. Even if like, when I was still a hothead back then. But anyway, we've come a long way.
We have.
And then even coming to the US, you did come before a lot of us, which is why a lot of our friends are coming here to celebrate you this weekend.
Yeah, I actually can't believe that they're all coming. I've been telling people that I can't believe all these people are coming here for my graduation. Like, is it that deep?
And just to give context, today is May 9th.
Yeah.
May 9th, and your graduation is May 11th. Yeah. So we have friends right now on a trip from Louisiana, right?
From Alabama. They're driving
12 hours.
That's wild.
Exactly. Yeah. I have a friend who flew in from Europe.
Yeah,
right? Shout out to
Europe.
Yeah.
Actually, the OG, this might be TMI, but the OG Chem Farm Japa guy is going to be here live and direct.
Even Lade is here with her baby. Exactly.
Even Lade is here with her baby.
So even me, I knew like I had to be here. I'm feeling like there was nothing that was stopping me from not being here, and I'm really grateful to God that we can all be here to experience this today. I still remember when you called me in 2018 to tell me that you got funding for UT Austin. Yeah. I was still at work in that. No, it's not my country. Remember, I was working. Not like it was bad, but I just remember feeling frustrated at that time.
You guys need to see her face. Oh my god.
And funny enough, I was never really planning to do my master's until master's prep until end of 2019.
Really?
Yeah, until even the pandemic happened. I was still waiting on KPMG because I passed the exam. I was like, I must chop consulting money as the oil and gas didn't work out. But anyway, I can't complain. Right now, when I look back, I cannot complain. I'm grateful for
divine leading, because I wonder if you would have been here. Like the Non-Immigrant Student Podcast.
Yeah, we would not be here today if she was still
in Nigeria. Exactly. And KPMG money.
Exactly. Exactly. So we're really grateful, and I'm happy that we're able to do a part 2 of this podcast. And do you also remember when you helped me when I first got here in 2020, and my card wasn't working? I didn't have a card, and I shopped for things from Target, and then it was like about $400 or so. Then you helped me pay for it.
I used my first tax return to pay for total shopping. But like in my head, I was just like, it's spend money now. And so then they just give me $400.
Exactly.
Like I'm a big girl.
Exactly.
I can have my friend. Let me help her. So yes, that was nice.
Yeah, it was nice. I remember, and then after I was able to deposit money that I came with from Nigeria, and then paid you back. But yeah, I'm grateful. Thank you for helping me settle the first time. So we're really happy. We're really proud of you, Pearl. And I know you were complaining that your mom said she wants to make afang soup, and you were like, that's too much. That she wasn't saying that we should rent hall. I'm like, of course we can rent a hall.
You guys,
after 5 years.
I'm not really sure what my mother is planning, but let's just say that I can't believe. I'm just here like, this man's doing this for this.
Yeah.
Lord knows what she's gonna do for other things.
Your wedding, I know.
Because this is a lot. It's a lot. Ask me
your
about
mom passed the vibe check, guys. If you guys check my stories from today, she was even like, we need to do I'm not the graduate. I'm the mother of the graduate.
I'm just, as far as I'm concerned, my mommy's new favorite child is Tulu. And
we're on the same wavelength, so definitely.
They make me roll my eyes, you guys, consistently. I'm just.
Oh gosh.
Anyway, love it for them.
Love to see it. Okay, let's jump right into it. So for today's episode, I wanted us to really talk about, to recap what really happened in part 1, what led to the story of you dropping out. There's some things I remember, even for me, just thinking of the part of your journey that I knew. I want to ask you on it, like how has everything led you today, like, and what are the next things you're doing? Of course I already know, but for other people listening. So I think we've already talked about how we met. I think we also described how you got into University of Texas, Austin. I don't know if you want to just touch on it briefly. Like, what made you even want to come to the US in the first place? Yeah,
okay, so I think I already said in part 1, but like I always knew I was going to do a postgraduate degree, but I always felt it was going to be a master's. And then I was looking for what school to go to outside of the country, and I should mention this is heavily motivated by my dad. He kind of put this all in my head. And I think at what schools to go to, I was looking at US and Canada, and I couldn't really find any schools in Canada that were aligning with my goals. But then in US, I found 2 schools, UT Austin and Yale. The Yale program was a master's program, which is what I wanted. The UT program was a PhD program, which I did not want, but I really liked the research. And my daddy was like, you should do a PhD. And I was just like, this is not what I want to do. And we even thought about it that day, but I just applied because I really liked it, right? And they wouldn't take you in for anything but a PhD. So I applied to UT Austin, I applied to Yale.
What was the program in Yale? Was it chemical engineering?
It was also chemical engineering.
By the way, we forgot to mention, we're actually first classmates. Yeah.
Yes.
We did study chemical
engineering. That was why we met in first year. But became friends later. Cyber. So yes, they were both chemical engineering programs, but the research area was in air quality in both universities. Yeah. But I was convinced I was going to get into Yale, a Yale master's program. Yale was ranked below UT at the time. The Yale chemical engineering department was ranked below UT at the time. It was a master's program. I was just like, I had everything it took to get into Yale. Like my GRE score was spectacular.
You had a 320, right?
Yeah, 320. I was like, I can get into Yale, whatever. Anyway, you guys, I did not get into Yale. Shocking. And then I got into UT Austin, and I didn't even just get like a congratulations letter. I got a call from the graduate coordinator at the time, or graduate advisor, at the time, telling me, congratulations going to UT. And anyway. Yeah. But yeah, I got a call from her, and that's how I got into UT Austin. It was a nice situation. And I got my fellowship offers. Everything was all great. My daddy was so happy. Oh my God, my daughter is going to do a PhD. And he told everyone. Yes. Everyone.
Yes, let me take over from here. Now, I remember that when you did move to start your PhD program in chemical engineering, you had to drop out and you now changed to the master's program. And they gave you 3 options back in school that you could either so it was because I hope I can share. I mean we shared about it. Yeah. So and I remember the date. It was December 19, 2019. You were moved to the track. You were given 3 options to either leave UT or SIP, master out, or take the option to master out, or move to a different department and start a new PhD program. And this was because you had 2 B minuses or so, and which led to a 2.78 GPA or so.
Yeah. Wow, I give so much details. I can't remember all these things.
But then at the end of the next semester, you had a 4.0 GPA. So, right? Yeah. I think so. Yeah. But the point is that you had those 3 options, and that was why we recorded that first episode, because you couldn't believe that you were being asked to drop out of the PhD program, and then you chose the master's track, right?
Yeah, I decided to stay on the master's track and applied to other PhD programs. And then my advisor told me that, well, I could reapply to the UT Austin Chemie PhD program and they would consider readmitting me. And then I did that, but then it became a thing of, well, we're going to consider reinstating you. And then they voted on then departments and I had like, I don't know, I can't remember how many votes, but I do know that like everyone but one person voted in my favor, and so I got reinstated.
Why that he's like that?
It says you forgot where you are. But and so I got reinstated into the program.
Yes.
And here I am now.
Here are you now, exactly. And this was 2019. Yeah, you came. December 2019. So end of that. And then almost 2 years later, in December 21st, 2021. Can we talk about your dad? I mean, you mentioned him a bit. December 21st, 2021. I'm not sure if I'm getting dates. I think I found out 3 days after. I think I found out a day or 2 days before Christmas.
Yeah.
But you lost your dad, the person who kind of encouraged you to start to apply to PhD program, and everything. How would you say, how did your dad's passing affect you almost 2 years after?
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
I think it's fair. I think we need to, or it's something that is a big part of my journey as well, because it didn't just happen in isolation. It didn't just happen, right? It happened and it affected everything. So, my dad was sick for all of that year, and then he passed on December 21st of 2021. And I think it was horrible, but initially it felt like I kind of had been grieving the entire time he had been sick. And so I happened to have been going to Nigeria at the time because he had been really sick and I really wanted to see him, because I mean anything can happen, right? But then he passed 2 days before my trip.
That was bad.
It was horrible. I remember the last call we had, I remember telling him just wait for me, I'm coming, I'll see you soon, and everything, and I could not believe it, right? And I went to Nigeria, I was at the funeral, thank God. I'm happy I got to be there and say goodbye.
Because if there were visa issues and all that would have been worse.
And my visa was not actually expiring at that time, so I had to renew my visa. So I renewed my visa the morning of his memorial, because I went for my visa interview. And that was the period where you had to go for an interview.
Dropbox hadn't come out, right?
Yeah, Dropbox had stopped. So I had to go for an interview to renew my visa. So I was there in the morning at 9 a.m. to go for my interview, and my dad's memorial was in the evening that same day. So it was a lot. But anyway, thank God I was able to renew my visa. And then I came back, and then I think that was when things really started to go south in general. My mental health just was horrible. My dad had died. My dad, that was one of the biggest motivations for this journey, had died. Right? And then the thing that had happened in the start of my journey, I never really dealt with that. I just they told me to get counseling, but I was like, I'm Nigerian. I don't need counseling for anything. So everything just resurfaced at the time. And that also happened. I mean, my dad passed 2-3 months before my candidacy exam. So for anyone that isn't getting a PhD, your candidacy exam is basically where you propose your research, to tell your advisors about the research you want to do, and then they tell you whether or not it is good enough to get you a PhD. Like they basically say, okay, this seems like you could get something tangible from it, and it seems like a solid idea with a solid methodology and a solid plan and everything. And so that exam was like 3 months after my dad died, and so I was not in a good place that period. So let's just say in a nutshell that losing my dad affected me greatly.
Yeah, and I will talk more about things you did, after that. But also today when you walked, today was your hooding ceremony.
Yeah.
Did you think about him? I'm like,
you know,
she was there taking pictures with you when with your mom and everything. Have you talked about it today?
To be honest, and let me just say, I think I feel maybe a little bit guilty about this, but like, to be honest, I thought more about my dad before today. Like, I thought more about him coming into this period. Like, I remember thinking, I can't believe my dad will be here today. And then I also briefly thought about him. I don't know if that was sometime this week as well. But to be honest, like today, I didn't really think about him like during the whole thing. I think like there was just so much joy. My mommy was there. I called out my mommy on national TV.
Oh, my mom.
That guy. Anyway, my mommy was there.
My mommy,
My mommy was there. My aunt was there. And Tolu was there. So like I was just surrounded with so much love that I think I didn't think about that.
And it's okay.
Yeah, and it's fine. It's really okay. And then like I think Tolu asked me this question now, and I realized that I was about to cry, and I was just like, oof. If I start crying before people not hear my voice on this podcast.
Well, let me also ask you this. Maybe it might make you feel better. I remember in part 1 I was asking you, we're talking about if you sent money back home, and I was like, how do you show your parents appreciation? And I'll requote something you said. You said, this life is very ephemeral, so they need to know I love them and are grateful at some point. So would you say you were able to give him any of his flowers while he was alive?
Oh my God. Yes and no. I don't think I gave it to him enough. I wish I had told him more how grateful I am for the mindset that he gave me in general. Yeah, so I mean, I just wish that I was able to like tell him more that like I was super grateful for some of the specific things that he taught me and specific things that he made sure that I knew and I was aware of. So yeah, I mean, he definitely knew how grateful I was and how proud I was to be his daughter and how happy I was for all the guidance he gave me. But I feel like it wasn't enough. And maybe this is just me feeling this way. Maybe I did, but like I think genuinely feel like it wasn't enough.
Well, to us, your friends, I remember I used to hail him, Mr. Sylvain, Mr. Abue. I used to hail him because of how well you used to talk about him, right?
Yeah.
That I even knew that, definitely we have to talk about him today. And rest in peace, Mr. Jerry Abue. Would like to thank you for your support, even from heaven. Even though you got a fully funded program, you would always talk about how he still sent money, how he still supported you, and all that.
Yeah.
And you talked about too also him getting into Columbia University back in the day, but he couldn't come. But then eventually he went to Harvard Business School. So we know he was a big part of you getting his degree, and we're grateful to him.
Yeah.
So and I'm sure he's happy. Hopefully, do you think that people see us?
I mean, do you know that I said the same thing, my sister?
You know how people love is blind, they used to keep seats for people that...
I know, I mean, people do that. I don't know.
Do you think their spirits come like in this Mexican
I don't,
like in Coco?
Like in Coco, right? I don't know, but like, I mean, I genuinely don't know. You know what? Let me know every form. And, me and my Nigerian self, the truth is, I don't know. Yeah. Like, I would like to think that he's like aware of what is happening though. Otherwise, like I want him to be part of this joy. And so even if I can't see his joy physically, I would like to think that like he is happy wherever he is.
That's too much.
We sit down and keep it. Sit down anyway.
It's okay. Okay, let's move on. But anyway, do you have any, if you were here, is there anything you'd like to say to him?
I would give him a big hug. Okay, well, first of all, anybody that cannot code by now that I'm a daddy's girl, well.
And you said it in person. You guys know by now, you know I love my daddy.
Yeah. Even though I'm a big daddy's girl, but like, if you were here, I would really just say thank you, Daddy, for encouraging me to do this. And I mean, I will say he was super supportive even when like I didn't know what direction I was going to go in. He was ready to support me, but then he also believed that I could do it. So I would really say thank you for believing in me in more ways than I could believe in myself. And I just really wish that you were here to celebrate this with me. Like, I can't believe he's not in these pictures. We keep talking about, me and my mom, we keep talking about if Daddy were here. You don't want to know what will be happening.
Even when I was telling her that I want to collect her wig, she said, this wig that my husband bought for me, I like how she spoke about it.
Oh, my dad, my mommy.
I liked how she said it in present tense, honestly. I really liked it. And I won't tell her that you're looking good though, you know. Yeah, I'm happy to see you guys happy. Anyway, well, we're thinking of you, Mr. Abue. Today,
Mr. Jerry, that's what I used to call him in the corporate space. When we were colleagues, I addressed him as Mr.
It's
Jerry.
true, you were an intern while he was there.
Yeah.
Right? Anyway, okay, so let's move on to your PhD research. This one's part of the podcast for people that are looking for PhD. It's not really juicy, but you know, it's like I remember your defense was when? What day again?
April 22nd, 2024 at 2:30 p.m.
Remember, and I, on behalf of I and the other sister girls, want to apologize for raiding your groups for your chat that day. You guys, do you want to report me or I can report myself?
I can't count the number of questions that I've received from the other people that weren't a part of this gang or bandit, so I don't know what to
next time don't invite Nigerians to your party.
Clearly, because these people were discussing the color of their ashwebi and someone said cockroach brown. Was that Bolu?
It was Bolu.
Oh God.
She was
another
like,
person said
you started, someone said that, so what's the color of their ashwebi? This was after your defense. And then we're all clapping in the group chat. I was putting in caps lock, you're that girl, she's that girl, get it girl. You know, people were like, LFG, let's go. Let's freaking go. Let's use your corporate term.
Oh wow.
And then someone was like, what's the color of the ashwebi? Someone said onion purple. Bolina said cockroach brown. Faith now said turmeric orange. I was like, wait, what's going on here? Someone said pepper red, but it was so hilarious.
It's so hilarious. And you know that, so the thing with, I don't know, anyone that has attended PhD defenses knows that, like, you have the public session where you talk to tell everybody about the work that you've done. And then they have the public ask questions. And then after their questions, they now have them leave. Now, when they leave, your committee now asks you questions and then decides whether or not you've satisfied the requirements and satisfied all that you need to be awarded the PhD. Now, these people, Tolu specifically, she was the first one. She was the one that unmuted herself and then started, "Congratulations, Pearl." Before my committee had asked me questions.
They asked us any questions. Do any of you have any questions for the PhD person?
But like them, they were supposed to go, and then they would not ask me questions.
And they should not be
in
angry.
private.
We could not take it. I just unmuted. I was like, "Congratulations, P. We're so proud of you." Every other person. Then my mommy from Nigeria. So I was like, "Pearl." I said, "Oh my God, we're just so happy."
They not told me when I have this PhD.
It's already finished in the book of the Lord that you were going to get that PhD. Any other thing they wanted to say was for their pocket. Even when the one was like, I have a question, Lauren said, please go ask your grandfather. There's please ask any question about
Nigerians are so violent. Oh my goodness.
It was so hilarious. I remember the Saturday before then, you know, you had practiced with us,
yes,
your group girls,
Mm-hmm.
and so that was nice. But you know, so leading up onto all of that, when you began your research, what did you feel like presenting all of that work? You know, there's something you kept mentioning. You talked about how your research was on air quality and how perfumes are not good. Something about Sephora.
First of all, disclaimer: I never said that perfumes are not good. That's not what I said. I just said that, like, so basically, in a nutshell, the good thing about my research is that if you know about it, then you know the best way to use these products, right? It's not a don't use them, it's more a use them in this way to minimize the possibility of being exposed to things that are harmful to you, right? Like, these things in and of themselves aren't harmful, but then they can react and form things that could be harmful to you. So that was kind of my key message. And I feel like people just like to jump at you said dishwashing soap and chlorine. Like the chlorine I'm using to clean my sink is going to, and I'm just like, I mean, no, I didn't say don't use dishwashing soap. Like someone literally asked me that, so does that mean we shouldn't use anything?
You know, because of you, I tried to stop using this plug-in air. You told me that it's not good.
I mean, yeah, like it just,
all those things
it's not necessary in my opinion. Like there are safer ways to keep your space smelling good.
Like what, soy candle, Abby?
Yeah, like the soy candle, even candles. Candles are questionable in general, but I mean, coconut candle wax, they say is better, so perhaps. I haven't measured it, so I can't say from like an actual scientific point of view.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, in general, that I think is the basic message of my research, and that's why I really like it. I feel like it's very relatable. I feel like somebody can ask me, so how can I apply your research to my real life? And I can tell them, even if...
Tell us how.
Well, open your windows, that's one thing. Like, open your windows open your windows in general, because people don't realize that the indoor space is actually more likely to expose you to harmful pollutants, because like you're indoors, so they think they have control over their indoor air, but the truth is that you don't, and the truth is that it's a smaller volume, so your exposure levels are higher. Like essentially the concentration of things that you're exposed to are higher because it's a smaller space. So when you open up your window, the air from outside comes in, and then the air from your room goes out, and it's just like it's less concentrated. So
the air outside is bad.
So that's another thing. If you're in an environment where there's bad air, then I mean, close your window and use an air filter in your room. There are electronic air filters everywhere. There's this. One of the people I collaborated with actually made their own air filter, which I think is really cool. The Corsi Rosenthal box, I think is what it's called. So like basically an air filter, you just plug it in. It's a fan with two activated carbon filters, so the air just passes through, and activated carbon absorbs VOC. So clean it.
During your defense, I kept trying to remember the difference between adsorption and absorption. You know, they taught us that thing.
Don't ask me.
In chemical, they made us do it level in the lab. I was like, I think absorption is the other way. It absorbs anyway.
I think one
like
goes
reverse.
in. Yes. No, they are both like the same thing, but I think one
like tissue absorbs water.
Yeah, and
then coal
absorbs because it stays on the surface.
Yeah,
I think
it's a surfactant or
no.
I
never did surfactant, but it's not a surfactant. But basically, I think adsorption just means that things are like on the surface.
Yeah.
Please don't quote me.
Please don't quote us, please. We are retired chemical engineers now. Yes, we are now retired chemical. We're going to.
Am I really retired? But
exactly,
I know. I mean, retired.
That's true. Okay, let's not jump. We'll talk about what next.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about your advisor. Is it PI or what? I don't know.
We call them PIs, advisor. So PI means primary or principal investigator and advisor, like whatever you want to call them.
It seems like you have a good relationship with her, and I've heard like people leaving their labs. I don't even know what that really means, but like, what is there anything like about your journey with your advisor, your PI? How supportive was she about your project? Because I know you also did something about indoor and outdoor air quality in Covenant for undergrad, right? Your thesis was also on that. So like, just tell us, what's the experience like with your advisor or PI?
Let's just say I thank God that she was the one that was my advisor and not anyone else. Like it really very much feels like a divine orchestration, to be honest, because what happened was a lot, and a lot of people don't tend to get as much support as I did from my advisor. So I really, really value my relationship with her. She was ready for it to just be a master's, and if I wanted to do research while I did the master's, she was fine with that. But then she also advocated for me to the department for me to either reapply and get readmitted or to be reinstated into the program. Like she was one of the people that advocated for me in the department. So like we had a really good relationship, and it was also really professional.
She's not black. Like just to add. I'm very clear about that, because you know most times most people think that it's just like when you're all from the same race or group or demographic that you'll stand by each other. But I have seen good non-black people too, and I think she might be one of them. Yeah, she's German, so she was amazing. That's all I have to say. Like I had a good relationship with her. I could tell, like I could tell her whoever was
happening. I literally, because when my dad was sick, I had a hard time focusing on work, and I was able to like communicate that with her that, well, my dad just got diagnosed with cancer, and like I'm having a hard time working and everything, and she understood that. She was able to empathize. When I lost my dad as well, she was very accommodating when I had to extend my trip for no personal reasons. And so our relationship was really good. She was super supportive. I'm happy that she was the one that I got to go through this journey with.
And if for someone who might be having a hard time with the advice, or what advice would you have for them? If someone is micromanaging or like just having me talk. I have a friend, I call his advice on his girlfriend every minute. Like she's always like calling him.
Do I know who that person is? I feel like oh no, it's a different person. I know someone too that says that, and I'm like, just like inappropriate much.
Exactly. Like I'm like, how is your girlfriend? Because the way she's always like looking for you.
Yeah, no. Some people say that the whole PhD thing is like being in a relationship with someone, which is not a lie, to be honest. The way they behave, but advice, I think it's very situation specific, to be honest. Like it depends on what the situation is with your advisor. Some things can be managed by like actually communicating that you have an issue with them. Like your advisor might be able to do better if you just said that you didn't like certain things. But then there are also situations that may not be handled by just communicating. Like you may have to, as they say, I don't know if it's in Nigeria here, escalate it.
It's here, escalate. I've gotten that feedback before. You do not escalate. Don't try to handle everything by yourself.
Escalate. Anyway, like some situations may need like more other people to get involved. So I would say talk to someone within your department that you think is trustworthy to see what the best way to approach your situation is. I know someone that had like some problems with their advisor, and it happened to be very situation specific, and we like had to like list out course of action 1, course of action 2 if 1 doesn't work, course of action 3.
Wow.
So you need to really think about what you want to do, and there's very little worth sacrificing your mental health for.
Sure, perfect segue. Thank you. My next question was, what are the things you did that helped keep you sane during the training program? I mean, of course, you had us. Your girlfriend. We're finna shout them out again. Okay, let's start. Who are we shouting out? Maureen.
Maureen. Oh my gosh.
Faith, Bolu. Who are we missing? And me. And us.
And Tolu.
So 6 of us.
Regular calls. Like we actually have very regular monthly calendar calls.
Yes.
We had to do it at some point because
it was supposed to be a girls' trip group chat. That trip has still never happened.
It's going to happen.
6 years after,
it's going to happen. It's going to happen soon. And you guys
it's true. Wait, all of us are now working, right?
Yes.
Everybody, you're the last person.
I'm the last person. And it's so funny because I was the first to get into school.
Yes, and now and you're the last. You see, turn by turn. Turn is not how they say it in PG. First, no, they carry last. How they say it? I don't know. But see, now you've joined us.
Finally. But the trip is eventually going to happen.
All of us are working now, so our money is getting in order.
Yes, finally, we can afford it. At least bare minimum, we can now at least afford the trip.
And actually talk about it a minute.
Yes, now it's ready for us to pick location. And now, do you know, you guys won't believe what the next problem is: finding a good time to take PTU.
Oh, yeah. When the problems change.
Cheers to big girl, working girl problems. I love it so much.
Yeah. So aside us and like having other friends too in Austin, I know that you were close to and all that. What else are things that kept you safe? Well, I'll give you a few cues. Things I think I knew about.
Okay.
You started working out, started dance classes.
I did.
You started going to church more, and then we did therapy.
Yes. Yeah, so I feel like these are the things.
Okay.
And I mean, like. First, the one thing was, I think the first thing I did when I realized I was at rock bottom, and this was maybe in 1 or 2 months after my dad had passed. I was like, yeah, I need therapy or I'm not going to make it to the end of this PhD.
Yeah. Was it BetterHelp you used?
No, I didn't use BetterHelp. I actually used, let me plug them on paid sponsorship.
It's fine.
If you're in US, I use Psychology Today. And, okay, so
I
first...
thought that's a podcast.
No, it's a website.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Psychology in your 20s or something. Anyway,
that's a podcast.
Something.
I used Psychology Today, but the first thing I actually did was talk to so I know someone that's getting her PhD in psychology. So I spoke to her and she was like, she would tell me where to find a psychiatrist or a therapist. No, the psychiatrist, these are the doctors. A therapist, right? And so I used Psychology Today. And I like the website because you can filter by your insurance and by what you need help for. And so I did that, and then I just scrolled through. I found a couple of people. I was very particular about it being a woman that was a woman that I spoke to for therapy, and thankfully I was able to find somebody. And I would say she wasn't my first person. Like, I had spoken.
Tell me about it.
Like 4 months earlier, when my dad was still alive, I was really sick, and I realized I wasn't in a good place. Like, that was my first cue that I wasn't in a good place. Like, I think I should have known that something was amiss. I did know. Tried to go to therapy, and it was a white man, and I won't, no shade to the white man, but like, it was just hard trying to connect or explain my entire existence to him.
Mine was though, but I wanted someone who had a daughter, who was a father.
Okay.
I would say I got the connection-ish, but because of what I was going for. But continue.
Yeah, like it was just hard. So I ran away. I didn't know, and he kept checking. I never responded. Oh God. Anyway, I just told him my daddy died. Leave me alone. That's basically what I told him. Yeah, and he still used to check in, but anyway. 2 months after my dad passed, I went back on Psychology Today, found a therapist, found a couple of people there, sent them messages, and got a couple of responses. But then I happened to meet this black woman, and we got talking. And yeah, she was a key factor, and she was one that kind of helped me find the other things that were instrumental in like helping me get through everything. And I remember our first session together, she was like, "Why don't you just quit the PhD?" I was like, "Quit."
Yeah, wow. I really like a therapy. Like, I don't know if the client shares your session with me, is that client confidentiality breach of contract?
No. As long as I'm the one sharing
client,
yeah.
Every time you talk about her, she's very direct, very like.
Oh God, she has pulled my wig.
Even broken. As she's breaking your table, she's breaking ours. When you tell her,
she breaks every single table. Oh my gosh, boy! Like she, I was like, she was like, why don't you just quit the PhD? I was just like, quit where? Quit bow. How? I was like, what do you mean quit? I was just like, okay, let's pause. I didn't come here for you to tell me to quit my PhD. I came here for you to help me get through it. Like, get to the end. Okay. And she was like, okay, that's what we're doing, no problem. And I really liked the fact that she respected. Honestly, like, she never once mentioned quitting again. Like, she really, really respected that was what I had decided to do. And I felt like, and I think she knew that I felt like I could do it, but I just needed to get through it. And so we talked, and
this is a 3-year relationship.
Yeah, at this point it's like it's 2 years.
Right? 2 years.
Do
you ever plan to stop going for therapy?
Yeah. So
you do?
Yeah, I mean, I don't need it anymore right now. Like, it probably will become on a need basis, right? Yeah. So the way our relationship has evolved, so my most regular therapy sessions were this year, and it was because this year I knew it was going to be hard because I was writing my dissertation. I remember telling her that I think I'm going to need to talk to you more often now. So we started doing therapy weekly, and then she was like, and then I was like, I feel like I can feel myself handling things better and everything. And she was like, I wonder why, maybe going to therapy weekly actually helps. And that was so hilarious because I would typically just go once a month before, but then I started going weekly because I felt like I needed it. And I remember, like, in our last session, she was like, I'm really proud of you. I can see growth. I can see that you're now better equipped to handle these kinds of situations.
And what were the situations? Stress, mostly?
Yeah, like basically how to anxiety, stress, how to even just like, because in the start we really talked a lot about like how to do my work, right? Like how to know what I wanted to do. And so she motivated me to start having like annual meetings with my advisor. Like I would have a meeting with her at the start of every semester and outline my goals and ask her if she thought that I could get my PhD by the time when I was thinking of getting it. And like if she said yes, or if she thought that I needed to adjust, she would tell me. So like my advisor was also like very, very candid, but my therapist was one that told me that I could have these conversations, that I should have these conversations, and having them helped me like just be more focused on my goal. And so, like, yeah, I would say my therapist very much.
So you recommend therapy?
I recommend it. And
on a scale of 1 to 10.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I recommend it. I think it's best though, and I had this conversation like a couple of days ago with somebody. I think it's best when you have a goal, like when you know what you are going in there to achieve from. So I mean I felt like I was going in there because I needed help to get to the end of my PhD, but then I was also grieving, and so I dealt with the grief as well when I was there. And I dealt with like I dealt with the breakup too, although the breakup did not happen. The breakup happened in the middle of. Thank God I was in therapy when when the breakup happened.
She was really dragging you.
She dragged my wig. Thank God. Anyway, let me not air my nice smelling dirty laundry on this platform, as my mother would say. But she helped me through everything. But then some major things that she suggested while we were talking was moving more. And so because I had depression, I was very depressed at some point, and she would always tell me to move more, and I didn't understand why. But then I eventually started moving, and I realized that I was happier when I moved. So I started moving more, working out.
Diva dance.
I started dancing. Dancing has always been
Beyonce.
Yeah. Dancing has always been like one big thing I go to when I don't know how to deal with my emotions. So I really got back into dancing when I was going through a breakup, and like that was chef's kiss. I danced for a year, loved dancing with a group of amazing women, and it was just amazing.
Let's plug them. What's Diva Dance? Right?
Diva Dance, it's a franchise, so you might be able to find them in your city, in
New York
US.
City too.
Just search them up. It's lovely. I love it so much. They're dancing, working out, moving more, therapy, friends, building a community where you are.
The church helping anyway.
Can't see it. I feel like it's funny that I'm not mentioning God, and it's wrong, but I just feel like don't even ask. That was the question. I mean, of course, like church really helped, because there was a time in therapy where I had a clash between my faith and what therapy was asking me to do. And so I talked to a pastor in church
I was going to ask you, can we talk about ADHD? I was going to go there, but I was like, okay, tell me you're about to bring it up
to tell me the things that she was going to talk about.
No, I'm not going to tell you. But thank God you brought it up. But your faith was conflicting with
about a year and 4 months ago. So
do you want to talk about it?
I mean, I can talk about it briefly. About a year and 6 months ago, my therapist was like, I think you have ADHD, and you have anxiety, you have depression, and all the tools I'm giving you, you're not using them, so I think you should get on medication. And I was like, what? Excuse me? What does that even mean? So I was just like, I had been telling her no all the time. And then at this point I was just like, okay, let me talk to my pastor and see what he thinks. So I called him up and then talked to him, and I could not just ask him, what do you think? He was like, what's going on? So I had to download everything, and he was like, I knew that we're not okay this entire time, but I was just waiting for you to be ready to come to us with your needs. And I was just like, I'm sorry. Anyhow, he and his wife, we talked about it and everything, and it took a while, and then eventually I was just like, okay, I would get on.
But they're not opioids, right?
No, they're not opioids, but they can be addictive. So they have
be dependent on
you
them.
can be dependent on them. So I ended up getting medication for ADHD.
Was the prescription for a particular time for you?
No, so like they just
what they call refills, like unlimited refills.
It wasn't unlimited refills. I always had to meet with my psychiatrist to get a prescription. But the thing, and the reason why I preferred the ADHD medication was because like I didn't need to take it all the time. I just tended to take it more when I was doing tasks that I didn't like, and so it was hard for me. And the reason why like this came up was because I was not able to finish things, because there were a lot of things I didn't enjoy doing. And so I was just getting stuck. Like I would start something and stop it, start something, stop it. It was just a lot.
That's deep.
Yeah. So the truth is, if I didn't deal with this thing, I probably wouldn't be here today. Like done by now. It would have taken me longer because I would have just been procrastinating. And not to say I stopped procrastinating, because I kept forgetting that I was dealing with this thing. So every single time I go to therapy and I'm just like, I'm unable to do this, and my therapist is like, well, are you using all your tools to deal, like all your ADHD tools to deal with this task that you clearly do not want to do? And I'm just like, oh, I did not take my medication and I did not break this work down into chunks. And she's like, well, use your tools.
And those advice you see all the time, but actually putting it to use, that's hope.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing.
I'm so happy for you. Like being in school for 5 years, actually, even I'm stressed now thinking about it. Like the 2 years I spent in my master's, one semester I wanted to drop out. I remember the day my mom asked me, "Or do you want to come back home?"
Oh God.
And then I thought about it. I said, "Don't worry, I will do it. I will finish my master's."
Yeah, no, for real. My mommy asked me this question.
Yeah, my mom asked me if I wanted to come back home too, because honestly, he's on top achieving.
Achieving, no. I don't know who sent us. Like sometimes it's just like, okay, but like why?
Yeah, like why?
Like why did I do that? No, I remember the day, I think it was my 4th year, I was getting dressed and I just looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, okay, so now who sent me to come back to school for another 4 years? Yeah. See my mates, they have 401k, they have pension and retirement savings.
Look at you now.
They have HSA.
What's that thing? The fattest dog, the patient dog is the fattest bone. But let me not jump.
Look at me. God, I don't have one single HSA. At least I can manage and say I have my own personal savings. But one single 401k.
But I feel like you even taught me to save, kind of.
No, you taught me to save.
Me?
Well, you guys, I knew the things to use. But like you've always had a better like money.
Because
money
I feel like every time
culture.
I touch you, you'll be like, I have to make money from my savings. And you're on a PhD salary. Remember, you saved the part one.
I don't know how I saved though, you guys.
And every time like, you always had
my salary was very, very much paycheck to paycheck. Like it's like as you're saving it, like you know when they say save for your 6 months emergency. Well, since when? The first time I calculated it and then calculated how long it would take me to save based on what I was able to save from what I was earning.
I just recently hit my 6 months too, and imagine going on Instagram every day and seeing it. You'll be wondering where people will see.
Like how? How much are you spending in 6 months? Like because in my head I'm just like I should be able to save my 6 months spending from 1 month's salary.
Yeah, that's even a story for another day. But anyway,
very much a story for another day.
But you were saying, okay, yeah, just to ask again, did your faith or spirituality play a role in helping you heal?
Yes, like, so, I was very much upset at God for a while because I just felt like when it comes to healing, like healing people of diseases, God never answers that prayer. So in my head, I was feeling like I'm not even surprised that my father died itself. Like
I know. I feel like you were very avoidant too about that. I remember when we went to see Pastor Aaron in Dallas, and he said something that there was someone there. I even recorded it for you, but I feel like you'd not believe it was for you.
I cried a lot, but like I mean, my faith played a huge role. I would like CCI US, CCI North America has like monthly vigils that I used to go for. I think I met a group of people that like believed in God, and so like it was easy to be motivated. Like, oh my God! And look at me almost forgetting to shout out. So when I spoke to my pastor about this whole hula baloo happening in my life, like he suggested having someone to pray with, and so I prayed with Demi. Let me give her a shout out. Shout out Demi. I hope you listen to this. But I prayed with Demi every day for all of last year, from the point where we started praying till the end. And now this year, and then we stopped praying together over the holidays because we were traveling in not 2 different time zones. But then this year, I remember reaching out to her and I was just like, oh, do you want to pray together like once a week? So I would pray with Demi every day for it's supposed to be like a 15-minute prayer, but like we would talk to each other about what was going on for like 15 minutes and then pray for another 15. So like yes in a nutshell it did play. It seems like a background, but it played a huge role.
I agree. That's why when people ask me do I recommend therapy, yes, definitely, because it definitely helps point out blind spots for one too. I remember yeah, I wish I could go into mine too, but this is not mine. This is your episode. But like, I talked about this with Lade, but I feel like even with therapy, there was still something missing.
Yeah.
You know, there's still like, yes, you can do all these things, but the peace, even just having to think of using those tools. That they tell you, like, why do I have to think about these tools? Until 2023 is solid year, right? I think I was solid year for say I did. I was like, you know what, I'm going to take my prayer life more seriously. This Bible that I'm struggling to read, I'm finna reading.
Wow.
It's no longer going to be only on Sundays. And peace that surpasses all understanding. Because I was having random fears. I will just close my eye and be seeing people like as if someone is stabbing me in the subway. I was beginning to have irrational fears from nowhere. Yeah. And this felt like
the second person telling me
it's like this, irrational fear until I started praying, and I felt much more peace. Like even though I'm scared, but there's just this knowing that those that dwell under the secret place. You know?
I think for me it's even like I would think about it in the reverse direction, kind of like I feel like prayer is kind of somewhere that you always turn to. To prayer. But then
if you're a Christian faith.
Yeah, well, if you're a Christian
faith that prays.
Yeah, if you pray.
If you pray,
you know, like it's kind of the first place you always turn to, right? And then after that, it's kind of like you cannot just pray in isolation. It's like with illnesses, right? Like you probably still need to take your medication, but like, so it's like you pray and then you now also know that these are all the things that you do, and so like you're being strengthened to do the things that you need to do. And like to keep spiritually and physically, like you're like kept on that path, kept on the path of like continuing to grow yourself, develop yourself, and be better. So so prayer is a big part. Faith,
prayer is the key.
Jesus, girl, I love the Lord.
Jesus baddies. I beg you. But anyway, prayer is definitely the key. But I want to go back to what you said before we go into the outro part of this episode. You said you felt like God never healed your dad. So do you still hold any grudges?
No, I don't. Like I feel like, so I will say the thing is I had lost one, like I think we said this in the beginning. The message Tolu sent to me about the boy that I was dating at the time that passed, right? Like he was sick as well, and I prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed, and he still died. And then it felt like I had another friend that had cancer, and I prayed and prayed and prayed, she still died. And then same thing happened to my dad. So like I was just so desensitized. I feel like I couldn't even really pray for my dad, to be honest, because I just felt like God doesn't answer these prayers. Whatever is going to happen is still going to happen. And I won't say that I fully dealt with it. Like it's still something that like I think lurks at the back of my mind sometimes, and I worry about having to pray for healing, because I'm just like, if I am having to pray, then well, we all know what's gonna happen. But I mean, I'm hoping that I can deal with that, you know. If you guys have tips on how to come out of that mentality, because on therapy cannot probably help me with no, unless it's a Christian therapist. Oh, and something about therapy, random, but my therapist is not Christian. But I remember always telling her about my Christianity. Like she could not try to steer me away from it. Like I would always, so I made sure that she knew that I was a Christian and my beliefs do not align with certain things, or like the way I'm being led. Like being able to pray was keeping me sane in a way, right? So she knew that part of me, and she never she factored it into my therapy. So that's another criteria for knowing if the person you're with is like suitable for you. Okay.
So now as we wrap up, if you could describe your PhD journey in 3 words, what words would you use? This is the only question I gave you X4.
Sorry if I probably failed this question because I did not listen. I did not think about it because I was thinking about a bunch of other things. But in 3 words, grueling.
Wow. Okay. We started there. Okay.
Yeah.
Grueling.
Yeah. It was grueling. It was enlightening because I feel like I grew a lot.
Growth.
Grueling because of everything that kind of happened, you know, along the way. We talked about that exhaustively. Enlightening because I learned a lot about myself, and I feel like I also grew into myself in a manner of speaking, especially in these last like few months. I like the person that I'm becoming now a lot.
I love that.
That's really hard for me to say because and my friends know I can be very critical of myself. and everything, but I like the person that I'm becoming in general, in life, not even just.
But we've always loved you, girl.
My dear, thank God. Thank God for you people loving me the way I was, but I don't think I loved me the way I was enough. But I'm now
I like that. I think I came into that in 27 actually, where you've accepted who you are.
Yeah.
And you just own it.
Yeah, you just kind of own it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So grueling, enlightening, and strengthening. Yeah, I feel strengthened, and I don't even know if the PhD that strengthens me or God strengthens me through the PhD, but people know. Like I feel strong
physically or mentally,
emotionally, physically. Well, physically is questionable, but physically kinda. Yeah. But like in every way, because there are just certain things now that I'm just like, and like I know that I can go through things. Like I know that I can deal with it. Exactly. Nothing really throws me anymore, and I thank God for that.
I love that.
And this baby has beaten me all the way side, left, right, center.
Remember when we'll just be on calls? And we even fell off the back. I was supposed to be calling you every other week or something.
Yeah, so.
But anyway, we'll just be on calls. Pen is typing away. With a coffee, a bit tea or whatever.
I drank coffee. I'm surprised. My bad that coffee did not make it into my acknowledgement.
It's true. You shouted us out on your pieces. Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
It's quite a wonder that the coffee is meant to be there. In case you read my acknowledgements, know that coffee is right next to Bob's.
That saw you through.
Bob's was sitting down at my feet.
Bob's is the dog, right?
Bob's is the dog, yeah. Bob's was sitting down next to me while I typed. Coffee was sitting down next to me on the table while I typed. I was drinking some coffee and rubbing some Bob's while I was working.
I love that. Grueling, enlightening, strengthening. Deep. Deep.
I might think about that word. So if you ask me in 2 years and I say something else, just know that
it feels pretty encapsulating. Actually, those are 3 good words. Wow, you didn't even say fun. I didn't even know why I thought you would say fun. But you went on trip.
I'm sorry, do you know where I went to those trips? Did I not send you pictures of what was there? So you guys, this trip she's talking about, I was seeing flares. I don't know if you're in the oil and gas industry, you probably know what a flare looks like. It's literally fire burning. They are flaring natural gas and burning it. Like
and you're just going to present your thesis.
I was going to sample this thing. And then conferences, but then conferences were, I mean, North Carolina, lovely. San Francisco was nice too. The food was really good, and I saw the Golden Gate Bridge. So.
Okay. Anyway, we'll take that. Grueling, enlightening, strengthening.
Fun.
And then fun-ish. Okay, when you came to Mexico, when you came to New York.
Was that PhD?
Was that not? You were still doing your PhD now.
Was that my PhD that carried me to Mexico or New York?
Don't be angry. Sorry. Okay.
If not for those things, I probably wouldn't be sane.
we will accept it. Grueling, enlightening, strengthening. Yeah. And then any last sort of advice for 3 groups of people. Now, someone who is a new PhD student, so someone who has just resumed at their program. One advice for them. Someone midway, like our friends who are coming, who have started their second year, third year. Yeah. And then lastly, for someone graduating like you today. So what 3 pieces of advice did you have for these 3 groups of people?
For the first person, set your goals. Like think of the end. In fact, know what the end is supposed to look like. I feel like that was something that I didn't know when I started. Like I was very, very unclear on what a PhD was. Weirdly enough, I feel like most people were aware. A lot of people have had parents do PhDs and then they come to do PhDs, but I'm the first person in my family. So set your goals clearly. Be open to learning. Ask all the questions that you can. Don't feel stupid. Like that. Literally, that's when you should not know anything. So ask all the questions that you can. Take as many notes as you can. Read those papers. Get that fundamental knowledge. Like just be a sponge. It sounds very generic, but be a sponge. But also make sure that you have community. Make sure you have a life outside of the PhD. Like make sure there's something else that's keeping you going. Otherwise, like you're going to get burnt out and you're not going to want to keep doing it. So I think that would be my main thing. Like have a community outside. Most people just end up having all their friends with their cohort people or their lab mates. Have friends that aren't doing PhDs as well. And I'm not saying don't have PhDs, like just have both groups, because one thing shows you what to aspire to and the other thing keeps you informed on what is happening within your groups, and like makes you feel like you're not alone in what you're going through. So make sure you have both groups. I didn't at the start, and this is kind of my fault, but that was something I would have done at the start.
For someone midway their program.
Midway. I feel like midway is where most people try to decide whether or not they want to keep doing what they're doing. I would say do something different for like 3 months. Like literally drop your PhD for a while.
Did you ever do that?
When I did my internship.
Oh, I mean that's so curious. Oh yeah.
When I did my internship, that was when like that was the 11-ish weeks that I did not do anything PhD, like research related in my work. And then when I came back with a renewed sense of motivation. Like the way I was so ready to be done. And it was like I was so ready to be done, but I was also excited about some of the work I was working on. But like I was so motivated to do the work. So I ran my last set of experiments, processed my data, started writing submitted my first paper, thank God. But like do something else, because it's either going to show you whether or not you want to keep doing the PhD and see it through to the end, or if you just don't want to do it. Now, as a non-immigrant student, I know that not just doing it is a luxury, so perhaps just hope for the best, that maybe to encourage you to do it more. But if it's telling you not to keep doing that, then don't. Just like do what is good for you. Yeah, you can master out.
Get a job.
Yeah, get a job, master out. Like get a master's and leave. Don't just leave without any degree. Just get something and leave. But that is one thing I would say. Do something else for a while, just to either renew your motivation or reset. It's a good reset. Yeah, exactly.
And then for someone graduating today, just like you.
For someone graduating, take those months off if you have them and rest, man, because. When I tell you that I'm so sure that there wasn't a 1 month span when we weren't thinking about anything for the last 5 years.
How many months off do you have before you start working?
I have like 3 months. Well, the rest of May, June, and July. I have those 3 months off.
So that's perfect. That's 3 is your number. So in a nutshell, I like what you said to the first group of people. Know what the end should look like. I think that was the most profound thing. And then of course have a community in school and outside of school. And then the second group of people, like get an internship, do something outside of PhD for a while. And for the last group of people, take a break before
relax.
You get back
please, you need it.
And from a fellow Cop America girly, like not every day. You see when Bukola Dev now take a gap year, even me, I'm like, if I take a gap year, what would that mean financially? Because the PTO day is not enough, because like the PTO is never really PTOing. Like,
you still need
a break from the PTO. Exactly. Do you get? Like I have to take that meeting because the work still has to work. Like I mean, it's not every time. There are days I actually take my days off and don't open my laptop, but it's not just like the work just still has to work. Even today, I was still checking emails. You know, but this is. Let me not go and start crying. I'm so frustrated. I'm like, God, how much break can I take? How much time can you take off work, right?
About to be in the slide.
Yes, you're about to be in the trench. Okay, so not be trenches.
In Jesus' name, amen.
So in a nutshell, just before we go into the final part of this podcast, would you say getting a PhD was worth it in the end?
I would say it was worth it seeing it through to the end. The only thing I wish is that maybe I had a stronger conviction about my why before I started. Yeah, because the truth is I did it because I liked research.
And your dad?
Yeah, because my dad encouraged me to. But like it was fine because I also liked research. Yeah. Would I recommend that those be the only 2 reasons you do a PhD? No. But
so why? Even if people say they want to change the world, can you actually change? You know, that was why I said in part 1. My gripe with research is that sometimes I feel like at the end of the day, it doesn't necessarily change the world. That was my issue. Because I tried to do biofuels and like, I want to contribute to renewable energy. When I did all my lab test results, minus 0.0.0, I did not have any results from the lab. And I was just like...
I mean, but your no result is a result.
Yeah, that's what my advisor kept saying.
It just means
She
don't go
published
down
it,
this
though.
path. Yeah.
Okay, fair.
Yeah,
fair.
like negative results are also valid
After working with all
results.
those microorganisms.
Yeah, because it just means don't do this.
I
Because what
badly
it
wanted
means
a
is
result.
that
I badly wanted
for
a
her,
result.
she continues, she's not going to do that. She knows not to do that. For other people coming in that have that idea, if they search, they find that you did that and it didn't work, and so they don't do it again. So no
fair.
result is a result. So you always contribute to knowledge in like trying to explore something new. Whether or not you discover that new thing isn't going to work, or you discover that it's the best thing since sliced bread. Is a result.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much, P.
Yeah.
So what next? What next? The people want to know what next.
So I got a job.
Yes,
people.
girl. Woo-woo. Wait, tell us where.
So I'm going to be starting at McKinsey and Company in a few months, and I'm excited about it. I don't know what to.
Are you looking forward to starting? When's your start date?
It's in August. I am looking forward to starting. Because I just feel like I've never really experienced work.
Yeah.
Like
You'd be
corporate
so good at
work.
it. You would be
Like,
so good at it.
why do you think so?
Because we work together. Like,
Okay.
you're very efficient, very organized. You'll be
Wow,
so good
okay,
at it.
I do that. Sometimes I'm feeling like I don't even know if that's the same person I am now.
Yes,
But
and
anyway,
you're
let's be
very
looking.
well spoken. Like, say, you will crush it as a consultant. I can see you, and you know how to play. I think you're also a very diplomatic person.
Really?
So many small things I've told you my mind, but you, I think you know how to play to both sides.
No, it's not that.
Any small thing, I have to remember. Oh no, they said I should kiss ass. I say okay.
Wow, so you're saying I'm a good ass kisser.
I did say that. You said that.
You guys.
I did say that.
Wow. See, there are things I'm just discovering. Wow.
I said you're diplomatic.
What does that mean?
It means you shall know how to play both sides, I guess. But anyway. But I think you would succeed in consulting.
That's good. It's good to. I like the vote of confidence.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes. So yeah, I mean, we talked about the job searching part 1, so please feel free to check it out. And I think we kind of hinted on the how you try to apply for the role. Because did you do your internship with them or no?
No.
But you got this job when? What year?
I got my offer in 2023.
3. Okay, yeah. But yeah, I know you started recruiting early anyway. And do you remember when you were earning 30K at the start of your PhD program? No, I will not say your real money, but because it's heavy. I asked someone, how much do you make? They told me enough. That's how I feel.
Yes.
Like, when they ask you, just say enough.
Enough, yeah.
Enough to make me happy. And others.
You know, I
to
can't
make
be
me
sad.
and others happy.
I can't complain.
Yes, and girls and guys, talk about finances. Or like, I like what you said about like meeting other people. You know what to aspire to. You know, when people are open about these things, you know that if you think that you're the best place, there's more.
My dears.
My sister, there's more.
Please talk to people that are not in the same point in life as you.
Yeah.
It's very necessary.
And how was the house search? I know you're moving. You're leaving Austin.
Oh
Texas.
my gosh, you guys are moving to Houston.
By the way, guys, we're recording this live in Austin, Texas. Like we recorded part 1.
Yes, just not in the same place I was living before. I'm living in a different place now. But
Austin, how are you getting ready to move to
I'm
Houston?
excited though. I'm excited, but then like the day I went and looked at apartments in Houston, I was just like, so I'm going to be living by myself in a new city.
I know, big girl life.
I'm
and I love
so
it.
terrified, you guys, but I'm also really excited. Like I don't even know what to expect from it.
Don't worry, your feelings are going to hit you soon. They'll hit you soon.
I'm just
maybe
here
when you're moving, like you.
Yeah, because I feel like so much has just been happening. There's just so much happening. I can't even feel.
Even me too. I remember when I moved, I graduated May 29th. I resumed. I graduated May 27th. I started my job May 30th. I moved to the city June 1st. Like everything was happening back to back to back. I don't think I got to breathe or really realize I started working at Google until September.
Oh wow, that's such a long time.
That's when I got my life because I now moved. It was a lot. And it might take you a while, but but we're still here for you.
Oh my god!
And
I wanted to sink in, please.
And do you have any last words to the city of Austin, Texas, the city that raised you?
I'm going to miss Austin. I actually really like it, Austin. I feel like
I love it too. I love it here too.
My sis doesn't want to go back to where she came.
I've been crying every small minute. I just look outside and I see the house. I'm like, I don't want to go back to New York.
And I'm like, well, we've been begging you to come here since, so that's on you.
I know.
But anyway,
God will make it happen.
yeah,
God,
I love
bring
her.
me back to my first hometown.
Yes,
my
please
true
bring
hometown.
her back so that I can be driving to us to come and see her. But yeah, I'm gonna miss Austin. I love it here. It's peaceful, it's happy, it's chill. Yeah. And people might disagree, but I like it here. Come and beat me.
Why would we disagree?
I don't know. They're just like Austin is not vibes, and they want vibes, and Houston is vibes.
Houston is better vibes, really?
It's vibes. The vibes that Nigerians are looking for is in Houston. I see. Nice. Anyway, the food in Houston so far has me hooked. I'm in love.
Oh, okay, that's good to know. So Houston.
Shout out to the person that showed me all the food in
Shout out to you, Buzzy. Shala. And then we have changed your name to Dr. P. I mean, I feel like I've always called you Dr. P randomly.
Yes,
but I shall make it official.
So I started this program. You call me Dr. P. Congratulations, you see,
I always saw it coming. I don't apologize for saying or muting and saying congratulations. I'm sorry. We always saw it coming. But anyway, yes, I've changed the name Dr. P already. And okay, little this or that before we go. And then I think this or that. I asked you.
Oh, wow. Okay, I'm concerned.
Okay, let's do it again. I don't think your answers will still be the same.
Let's see.
Lipstick or lip gloss?
Lip gloss.
Same, okay? Tea or coffee?
Coffee, always.
Beards or no beards?
Beards.
Okay, same answer. Homebody or going out?
Okay, so that's the one that's kind of changed. I'm a little bit of both now. I like to stay at home, but I also like to go out. Like I feel like the spirit of going out comes upon me sometimes, and I'm just like, I need to be outside. I love like when I want to go and dance, like I want to go out and dance, or I want to go to brunch, or I want to do like there are specific things I go out to do. I will say that, but like it's a little bit of both. I like to be at home, so I like please don't disturb me. Like I like to know my plan is to go out, like 1 week before I go out.
I'm not spontaneous.
I don't do spontaneous unless I love you.
Yeah, me too. K-drama or American drama?
K-drama when I have time to read the subtitles. American for background noise.
No,
so not used to K-drama.
Movies or series?
Series still.
I think it was still.
Yeah.
Money or love?
Love because I have money now.
Wait. Wow. And your answer is love.
Yeah.
What did you say the last time? Actually, you still said love.
Yeah. I'm sure. I love love. I'm a love girl. You guys already know. You see, but
you still chose love when you did not have money.
Yeah, and then now I have money, so even more reason to choose love. Because you know what, your money cannot even move me.
Like my mom would say you cannot get married to your money. That was she used to tell me. And if she would say like, I know that you might be happy, this, but money cannot love you back. She said your money cannot love you back. That can hit me so much.
But just to say it out there, not to say that you shouldn't have money, but like love. Still have money and then love as well, but no more like love over money.
Yeah, love over money. At this stage of my life, same.
Love
over money.
Love is you guys.
Love is the greatest of them all. Hey, but when money enter, love is sweeter.
Davido knew what he was saying when he said those words.
Oh my God.
Mind you.
Last question, Tolo or Bolu?
Don't be asking me this. In fact, this time in this episode, because we're fighting.
Wow.
We're fighting.
Watch yourself.
We're fighting.
Watch your next statement.
But like you guys. Tolo has been. In fact, I wish I could report you people. The problem is I don't hold grudges because I wish I could remember what this girl said. I just thought that we were supposed to fight.
LMAO. We're not going to fight. You can't fight me, baby.
Yeah, probably not going to fight that boy.
Our love is strong.
Okay.
And where can they find you? Are you back on IG?
I'm back on Instagram. If you're looking for me there, I cannot remember my handle, but
I think it's _Abue.
Yeah,
ABUE.
first name, last name. She will find me. I promise you. I'm on Twitter, but I don't tweet. I just lurk.
You're an X. You an X.
Sorry, X.
Yes, X.
Yeah, I lurk like the X-Files. Sorry, don't worry. If you get it,
you know.
If you get it, perhaps we might be on the same wavelength of humor. But and then I'm on LinkedIn as well. You can find me there.
I'll link that. Oh, thank you so much, Pearl, for coming back on the episode.
Thank you for having me again.
I owe you a t-shirt officially.
Run me.
What color are you going to choose? Pink, red, white, black? Red.
I think I like the red one.
Yes,
that red one was so nice. Yeah.
Yes.
Please give me my shirt.
I will.
I'm expecting it in the mail
Yes,
with my
ma'am.
degree.
And I'll send it to your new house. I'm not doing old things. Old things are passed away.
Oh,
send it to your new
wow.
house address. We'll finish ship it there.
Okay, girl.
Yes. Thank you so much, Pete. Thanks for being my
you.
friend. I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy
Thank
for you.
you.
I can't wait for all of us to celebrate this Saturday. I've been pumping up my energy. Even though I've been feeling tired these days.
I'm so happy.
I'm like,
gosh.
Tolu, you need to fix your attitude before Saturday. You need to get it
How
right.
soon has been fixed? Because this morning I was just like,
You
the
noticed that
energy I needed.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
just
Because you know
happy.
when I first came, I was like, wait, I even forgot to hug you. I was greeting your mom and
Oh, I didn't notice. No, I'm not a hugger, so if you don't hug me, I
that's
don't
true. I am
use
the hugger in the relationship. But anyway, but yeah, Saturday we finna light it up. LFG, like the boys would say.
Yeah, LFG. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. And for me, please tell them to like, share, subscribe, follow everything.
Please like, share, subscribe, follow.
Yes. On the podcast.
Yeah.
Find me, the Non-Immigrant Student, on Instagram. Anyway,
You know now.
thank you guys for listening. If you made it to the end, we love you. Thank you so much. I hope this inspires you to take on your PhD journey, and I hope you learned more than, even if you're not a PhD student, I hope you learned a few stuff. Thank you for all the nuggets of wisdom.
Thank you for having
Dr.
me,
P.
T.
I
I'm
love you
so
much.
happy.
I'm so happy as well. Okay, then signing out, guys. If we can do it, you can do it too.
Bye.
Bye, guys.